time to kick some ass. This is actually going to be part 2 of my Elder Scrolls SKYRIM DAWNGUARD DLC playthrough. I guess I'll call it that because it's not a walkthrough, but yet it's really not a let's play, so it's a playthrough. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to be using the crossbow just to show you why it's so overpowered. Is because I have all this dank ass armor and jewelry and stuff to power up my bow. I mean, it does, I don't even know how much damage this bow does. It does at a ridiculous amount. But I do play on master difficulty almost exclusively. Sometimes I don't, depending on if I'm leveling up something, you know, I don't know, I don't know. But most of the time I play on master, so I have like these really overpowered weapons and stuff, but it doesn't really matter. On master, I don't know, even master's too easy for this game once you make the best stuff. And in the last video I talked about how I have tutorial videos and things like that to pretty much show you guys how to do all these tricks with making weapons and stuff. I will put links in the description to this video as well if you're curious to know how to do it. But yeah, you can make amazing stuff, and this crossbow isn't really probably that as powerful as I could have made it, but it's still gonna be really powerful, and it's a lot of fun to use. At first, like I was saying in the last video, at first I thought the crossbow was gonna be not that good, just because it's a standard weapon, you know, it's a crossbow. Like, do I want to use a Daedric bow or a crossbow, or like, you know, it's like steel versus Daedric. I would normally say Daedric would be really good, but I really like the way that the crossbow functions, the way you aim it, the way you, it's more like a gun, so it's kind of cool. Although, you know, it's always going to be a little clunky because it's Skyrim. Alright, so now we are in Dim Hollow Cave. This is where the first big major quest is going to happen for the DAWNGUARD DLC. Right now I'm just sneaking around trying to scope out for the enemies.
Their arrogance had become
See if I can find one real quick. There's one all the way off the distance. And yeah, this thing shoots really accurately. Like, you can just aim it directly. If your crosshairs are directly on a guy and you shoot it, it's point blank gonna hit him. There's a little doggy right here that's going to kill that as well. And try to find this last enemy if there is one. Don't really know. But I mean, I'm not big on sneaking, honestly. Like, at first I know I'm sneaking around, but I really can't take the time. If I wanted to play, sneaking in Skyrim is good, and it's also a lot of fun to do, honestly. It's really fun to sneak around. I always thought it was really fun. But the downside is if I sneak around this whole time, I mean, this is going to take me forever to get past, so eventually I'm just going to be like, you know, screw this. I'm going to stand up and run around. And unfortunately, early on, your crossbow is only going to have 45 bolts. So you should probably pick up as many of the bolts as possible from dead bodies. Otherwise, yeah, you might have a little bit of issues. Like, if you want to use the crossbow, you don't have to use a crossbow. Of course, you can always use a sword or a hammer or whatever the hell you have, and that would work just as well. And also, before you start this DLC, I highly recommend you become a vampire, or not a vampire, but a werewolf from the Companions quest. Because otherwise, I don't know, but I'm assuming that you can easily be infected with the vampire disease by fighting tons of vampires. That would make a lot of sense. So if you want to avoid that, if you don't want to become a vampire right away, then you should probably be a werewolf for this. And it's really easy to become a werewolf, and I think most people who are going to get this DLC have probably beat Skyrim and probably have already done that. And being a werewolf is really cool. Now, in this DLC, you can become like a super bat-like vampire, and that's even probably cooler than the werewolf. But for me, I just recommend being a werewolf just so you don't get the regular vampire disease. Now, if you want the other one, which is this like super cool, like demon-looking bat that you can transform into, yeah, go for it. But alright, so right here I'm still sneaking around like a jackass. I don't know why I was doing that. It's like everything is dead. Why am I still sneaking around? But you have to pull that chain up there to open up this door, and now we can just pretty much run through this. And I think at this point I was pretty tired of sneaking around. I was like, don't have time for all that. A lot of stuff in this cave. I'm going to not investigate too much, though. Normally, I really like to explore and look around at every little crevice of every little spot just to see if I can find some super secret thing. But, no, not for the video's sake. There's no way I want to do that. It's going to take too long. But, yeah, feel free. I mean, if I miss anything and you guys found something, please just leave a comment. Let me know. I would love to know that. And then I would love to have you guys make me feel stupid for missing it, especially if it's something really good. But yeah, just go ahead and feel free to comment all you want. But alright, so you're gonna be attacked right here by some more enemies, but as you can tell, the crossbow is dank. Now I was wondering, like, I was thinking, like, wow, man, this crossbow is amazing. I'm killing everything in one hit on master difficulty. This can't be happening. Like, this thing can't be that good. Like, I'm killing vampires in one hit with this. Because vampires are pretty tough enemies in Skyrim, just in general. Like, they have really powerful magic attacks, and if you don't have magic resistance, I have a ton of magic resistance, but if you don't have magic resistance, yeah, they will shoot you down in a second. So it really sucks when that happens. But I mean, yeah, I was really surprised that I was able to kill him so easily. All right, so right here, I'm just looking around. Ooh, 10 gold. Needed to really get that. That was definitely worthwhile. It's Grand Soul Gem over here. That's probably worth it. And then, yeah, we just keep progressing. Wait, no, we really don't know what's going on here. Like, why are we in this cave yet? Looking at crap. Right here, you're going to find a vampire fighting a undead guy. And Alex, I was trying to sneak around like a jackass. But, yeah, I was just, after a while, I was just failing. So I was like, screw it. Like, this is not worth it. Alright, right here, I'm going to kill her. And I believe around this point, then I really started to question myself. I was just like, there's no way. And I was thinking, alright, I might be playing on an expert or normal or something here, because I shouldn't be killing everything in one hit. So I believe I'm going to check in a second here. Still going to be investigating. Like I said, I really love to investigate. Like, that's just my thing. Because then you get to find really, really dumb things like this. Like, just random, I don't know what this is about. Like, just this random guy right here. I don't really need any items. Like, this is level 81. I got everything done. So I don't really need anything. But this is kind of an interesting little spot over here. Because, like, if you look, there's a sword right there. I was like, oh, I want that. But it just kind of looks like an iron sword, so it's probably not even worth it. But it's kind of weird, like, why they put this here, this whole little hallway. I guess just to trick you to go down there and then get stuck. Now right here, this is where I'm going to check the difficulty. And yeah, I was on novel. So I mean, or novice. I know someone's going to be like, it's not novel, it's novice. Yeah, I know, it's novice. I was on novice, and I don't know why I was on novice. It must have been I was leveling up a character or something by giants, and I turned it down on that. So now it's on master. So everything should be a little bit harder at this point. Although, like I said, once you make overpowered weapons and armor and stuff, yeah, this game on master is just absolutely nothing. But it's still fun. So. All right, and as you can tell, it definitely will not kill vampires in one hit anymore. And the worst part about vampires, even though this crossbow is really cool, the worst part about this crossbow is when vampires are using magic. It's always hard to hit people who are using magic with a bow-like weapon, because they're always going to be dodging around in a distance shooting you with magic, so it can be kind of challenging to hit them. And it's also it can also be kind of a pain to hit other NPCs that are using like archery, because yeah, they're going to be moving around and stuff. It's really easy when they just charge at you like an idiot.
Hello?
Right over here, there's going to be a lot of dead spiders, so I mean, these vampires are definitely looking for something in this cave. I mean, there's a lot of undead here, or zombies here with spiders and stuff. So pretty much just got to deal with all these random enemies along with these vampires. But these vampires are kind of cool, honestly. I kind of like, even on the last video, I told you that I didn't know how to feel about the whole vampire experience in Skyrim, just because the vampire thing has been so played out by everybody. But just in general, the DLC I think is really awesome because what they do, like, it transforms your whole game. It gives you a lot of new stuff, which is definitely needed. It makes it so that until you complete this quest, like at night, vampires will randomly just go into towns and start attacking people. That's some really cool elements there. So, I mean, I don't know how this would work on like a new character, but at the same time, I mean, who knows? Well, I'll just have to experience that another time. But yeah, and then of course you get like a lot of really good stuff. So if you are starting over on a lower level person, then this would definitely be a nice little DLC to play through, just to get some of the really nice stuff to help you out. Alright, right here we're gonna fight a Night Master Vampire, which is, I guess, kind of a new enemy. And I believe like all the vampires in this DLC have ranks, just like most things. Now at this point, I believe, like, I was just like, this is taking too long. This is taking way too. Actually, no. I was thinking about switching weapons there, or putting on a certain shout, but I decided not to because I just wanted to kill this dude with the bow. Now this is the worst part about vampires and about this game in a lot of ways, is that these stupid people be running from you so hard. It's like, oh, stop running! Come here, I want to kill you! And yeah, caught his ass, and now I get chopped his dumb head off. But yeah, anyway, so now he's dead. I can loot his body, and he didn't really have nothing good. And then go ahead and switch back to my crossbow, my legendary crossbow, don't get me wrong. And I don't know what I'm doing here. Like I said, you gotta remember, guys, it's been like 6 months since I've played SKYRIM, so I was just like, I remember I had a lot of really cool stuff. I was trying to like use a little bit of it here and there, but normally the main thing, I'm not really big into magic. I like magic in Skyrim, it's cool, I guess, but I just think conjuration magic's the only useful one in the game besides restoration. Yeah, restoration magic's really good too. Like, the healing magic's great, and conjuration's cool because you can just like summon enemies to fight with you. But destruction, if you play master, destruction can be very weak unless you use potions and have all your armor set up to make your destruction like really good. That's pretty much the best way to use it, though, honestly. Alright, right here we're gonna hear some vampires talking, so let me be quiet.
So go and meet your beloved Stendar.
Are you sure that was wise, Lokio? He still might have told it. Something's not.
Nice little shot by me, I do have to admit. Alright, actually it might have been a good thing I summoned this guy, because he's gonna play a little distraction for me, because there's definitely a lot of vampires in this room, and I gotta be like Buffy and kill them all. Anyway, I'm trying to, you know, it's gonna be very hard to hit people from a distance, especially once they know you're there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rush them just to get this fight over with sooner than later. And like I said, there's gonna be quite a bit of vampires. Vampires have an ability that can raise the dead, which is really can be annoying. And not only that, but they can. The thing that drives me crazy is that vampires can actually raise other vampires from the dead. It's like, they were already dead. How are you gonna bring them back from the undead? But anyway, yeah, they can do that. So you just gotta watch out for that. I'm assuming the main guy here is this Loki or whatever his name is. He's the only vampire here that has an actual name. Normally, people who have actual names in the game are somewhat important. I mean, maybe not this guy as much because he was so easily killed, but alright, yeah. And now that, see, like, when she was using magic, it was really hard to hit her with this crossbow. The second she switched to a sword, she was dead in a half of a second. And just kind of see what they got. Any good loot? Nah, not really. So, nah, it's whatever. Now we pretty much progress to this little bottom area and see what's going on down here. Like, what are they doing? This little book right here, you can read it if you want. I'm not gonna bother. And also, here's gonna be that vigilance guy that the one dude was talking about. Don't know any of their names, but I think if you watched the last video, you'll remember what I'm talking about. And yeah, so let's go ahead and check this whole area out. Now, the second I seen this, I was like, uh-oh, this is going to be a puzzle. And I was like, oh, my God, I hope this is not a hard puzzle. Because when you're playing, like, when I'm doing a video for any game, and there's, like, a puzzle or something, and right here, that's pretty epic. It stabs your wrist. But if I'm doing, like, a puzzle or something, and, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm recording, if I don't know how to already do the puzzle, I just don't want to get stuck on it and be recording me failing for about 20 minutes. So, you know, I was just hoping this wasn't going to be too hard of a puzzle, but it actually is a very easy puzzle. Pretty much brain dead easy. So, alright, right here I pushed this thing in the middle and I noticed it lit up, so I was like, oh, that's all this is just pushing stuff to certain areas? Like, that's gotta be easy. Come on now. Right here, that one goes on the outside. I mean, I really can't tell you anything. Like, you just gotta kind of like play with them until you get it, because it would be really hard to like actually talk about or show you how to do each of these. Now, I was assuming I was done. It looked like there was only like 4 of them, and I moved 4 of them. But apparently I was not done yet. There's one more somewhere. There it is. And now we gotta move it to see where it goes. It does not go on the outside, so let's go ahead and push it in. As you can tell, it's really easy, because if you just move it to the outside and then you move it to the inside, it's going to be somewhere along the line. Now we can go ahead and open up this like weird looking portal thing and see what's going on here. Alrighty, just gotta look for the front of this thing or whatever's going on. There we go. So it turns out it was a coffin, and there is a mysterious woman in here. So let's go ahead and see what she has to say. She's kind of hot too.
Who sent you here? I was expecting someone like me, at least. Vampire, yes. That's...
Now, I was actually contemplating on
I'm
what
not
to
totally
say,
sure if I can
because
trust
I know
you.
there's going to be some
But if you
choices
wanna know the
throughout
whole
this,
story,
and
help me get back to my
I didn't want to
family's
like
home.
have to kill her or anything, which I don't think you can, but you can pretty much pick your choices off what you want to do. Do you want to
My
help the
family used to
vampires,
live
or
on
do
an
you want
island
to
to the
continue
west
with
of
the Dawnguard?
Solitude. I would guess they still do. By the way, my name is Serana. Good to meet you. Your guess is as good as mine. This place looks pretty different from when I was locked away. I'd rather not get into that with you, if that's all right. I'm sorry, it's not that... It's just that I don't know who I can trust yet. Let's get to my home, and I'll have a better sense of where we all stand. Yes, it is. And it's mine. It's... complicated. I can't really talk about it. I'm sorry.
God damn, bitch, can you talk about anything?
Good question.
Man,
Hard
that's
to
just how I
say.
felt this whole time. I was like, can you tell me something?
I can't really tell. I feel like it was a long time. Who is Skyrim's High King?
Right here, I was just like, I can't remember what I did for this file that I make.
Oh,
You know,
wonderful.
I didn't
A war
remember.
of succession. Good to know the world didn't get boring while I was gone. Who are the contenders? Empire? What empire? Cyrodiil is the seat of an empire? I must have been gone longer than I thought. Definitely longer than we planned. Please, let's hurry. I need to get home so I can figure out what's happened.
I mean,
Not going to happen.
yeah, I don't know why they give you these options, because no matter what, she has to come with you, and you can't trade items with her, so. Alright, so now that we can leave, go ahead and start running over here, and then all of a sudden, the room starts shaking, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then it's like, oh wow, what is this? A gargoyle? That is so cool. So this is going to be a new enemy that we're going to face in the Dawnguard DLC. These are gargoyles, which are kind of, they're cool, I guess, because they're gargoyles, but at the same time, they're pretty weak. the cool thing is that they do carry a lot of really nice gems on them. So in future playthroughs, when I play this, there's a lot of dumb little micro quests in the game that want you to grab certain gems. At this point, though, I am out of bolts, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my regular weapon. Like I said earlier, that will happen to you. You will run out of ammo for your crossbow, so at this point, it's best to switch over to a regular weapon. But anyway, like I was saying, gargoyles are gonna be really nice to get like a lot of these. I don't know at lower levels would they have flawless gems on them, but there's a lot of little dumb quests in the game that want you to collect certain flawless gems, and they can be really tricky to come across. It takes a while to find them, but now that I know about this DLC, yeah, I will definitely be doing this early on in the game more than likely and collecting as many gems as possible. Alright, now I don't know how I got into this room, but leaving the room, it just like, it's weird, like it just kind of changes. I was like, what the heck, like why is it, I don't remember, like I remember I came in from that way. Why is it all different now? I don't really know. But that's at least how I felt at this moment. There's gonna be some enemies over here. Pretty easy they're gonna be nothing to kill with my overpowered hammer. This is my favorite weapon in the whole game. And it's really confusing because since she's a vampire, Serana, she's a vampire, she will also raise, I mean, for the majority of this DLC, she will be following you, and she will always raise the dead. Like one of the powers that vampires get, they can raise the dead. They have necromancy or whatever. And it's so confusing. Now this is a really interesting room up here. It's just this giant hall of, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's some type of like hall of just skeletons. And I thought that was really awesome. But anyway, yeah, because she can raise the dead, you can just get confused easily. Like, oh god, there's an enemy, gotta kill it. And then it's like, oh wait a minute, that's an ally. Oops. There's gonna be some nice little stuff over here. I think there's a nice every time you see one of those like chests like that, always check them because these chests always have really dank stuff in them. Let's see. Well, it's diamond. That's pretty cool. Rubies. There's so many gems throughout like this DLC. It's incredible. I don't know why they did that. Now the main thing, there is something very special in this room that I did find. I'm lucky I didn't skip it because I wasn't really exploring too much, but I think I only found it because I was kind of like lost for a second. And it's just right up here. There is a word of power. That is what's up. So this is going to be a new shout that they added for the DLC. And it's drain vitality. So I'm assuming that, and it's actually auto-saving right here. But I'm assuming this new shout is actually going to have 3 levels. Probably you find them all throughout the DLC. And what's going to be really cool about it is that I believe the first one drains stamina. And then the second one's probably going to drain magic. And then the third one's probably going to drain health. So that's really cool, really versatile, like shout in the game. Probably going to be one of the best ones, because anytime you need stamina, you can just shout it at somebody and get stamina back. If you need magic, you just shout the second level of it at somebody and probably get your magic back. And if you're going to die or something, you can probably just drain their health, and that's really awesome. Like, it has a lot of potential, because if you're fighting people with magic and you drain their magic away from them, that'd be really cool. Now I don't know if that's everything about it, if that's what the shout's gonna do, but I'm assuming that's what makes the most sense. So I'm hoping I'm not gonna miss any of those throughout the playthrough, but I might, just because I'm not really exploring too much. But alright, so this is a little loading screen right here. I actually cut it ahead. This is actually where I'm going to end the second part of this playthrough.
So good to breathe
So I really
again.
hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know. She's a vampire, but I don't know how we're outside during the daytime and she's not burning alive. But that seems like what happens. So like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Please comment, please like, please subscribe. And like always, have a nice day.